What's up guys, I'm Dmitry with Canucks, and AMD's Ryzen is coming down the pipeline very soon, and everyone is excited about what it could offer as a competition for Intel's higher-end processors. With it so close to being officially released, CES 2017 is providing a perfect platform for motherboard manufacturers to show us what they will have to offer when Ryzen becomes available. Some of this stuff is pretty exciting since we haven't seen anything truly new on the AMD chipset side for a very long time. A few of Gigabyte's upcoming Ryzen ready motherboards were shown behind closed doors for us during the show, and we got a close look at three of them: the AX370 Gaming 5, the AX370 Gaming K5, and the AB350 Gaming 3. So let's start things off with the Gaming 5, a motherboard that uses AMD's upcoming 370 series chipset. While actual pricing wasn't discussed, Gigabyte and every other motherboard manufacturer we talked to so far made it evident that they are initially targeting the mid-range category with their AM4 boards. While higher-end products may be available in the future, it seems like everyone is approaching Ryzen and its Summit Ridge platform as a value-focused solution. As for the Gaming 5, it uses Gigabyte's new Aorus branding, which will be added to all of their premium gaming focused products. It uses a 6+2 phase PWM for the CPU and DDR4, and it has well-spaced 3 primary PCIe X16 slots that can be used for either dual card SLI or triple crossfire, and those slots are reinforced with metal to provide some additional support for heavier GPUs. Being their more expensive option, the Gaming 5 has a lot of interesting features. There's onboard power and auto OC buttons, a killer E2500 Ethernet chipset, an M.2 slot with access to 4 PCIe 3.0 lanes, and Gigabyte's Amp Up audio, which has replaced Op Amp for modifying sound signature at the hardware level. One very interesting addition is the U.2 connector for ultra-fast storage, which until now has been an exclusive to higher-end Intel motherboards. It looks like AMD is licensing this from Intel, which is definitely a development to be taken note of. There are some hallmarks here too that you will see on all of Gigabyte's Ryzen supporting motherboards. The RGBW header for LED control is a Gigabyte specific development that adds a dedicated white channel to the typical RGB for enhanced white level control. It is also backwards compatible with the 3-pin RGB headers too. The socket actually hasn't changed all that much between the older AM3 and the new AM4. It still uses plastic retention brackets from previous series, which you will certainly want to remove if installing aftermarket coolers, and the socket itself is an almost carbon copy of its predecessor visually. Gigabyte's Aorus Gaming K5 will be based off the Gaming 5, but it will be offered with a lower price point too. Things like reinforced PCIe slots, amp-up audio, SATA Express ports, and overclock buttons, and the RGBW headers are still carried over. However, the U.2 port and some other minor items have been eliminated. You can also see Gigabyte has given this more of a stealthy appearance than the Gaming 5, with the black shrouds for the I/O area and the chipset, and other than those, the difference between the two boards are, right now at least, very minimal since both use the same 370 series chipset. And finally, this is Gigabyte's GA AB350 Gaming 3 motherboard, which, as its name suggests, uses AMD's lower-end 350 series chipset and doesn't make use of the premium Aorus branding. This means less connectivity options and features, but at a much lower price. On this board, Gigabyte has gone with a basic layout that still has 2 primary PCIe X16 slots that are reinforced and make use of some LED accents. However, don't expect things like SATA Express, onboard diagnostic readouts, or more capable PWM headers. This is truly a value-focused product. But one thing you might have noticed in some of our shots is that all of these boards have some form of backplate display connector, even though Ryzen processors will not have any onboard graphics capabilities. The reason for this is pretty simple. The Summit Ridge platform and the AM4 socket will be compatible with upcoming APUs built using the Zen architecture. Therefore, any AM4 motherboard can also be used for next generation APUs. And so that's all we have to talk about for now about these new AM4 Ryzen motherboards. Everyone around here and at the show are super excited about seeing what AMD has to offer in the coming months, and I'm sure that we'll be seeing a lot more of Gigabyte's boards very soon. Thanks again for watching our coverage for CES, and we'll be back with more soon.